All right, we're back in the world of passive Exile 2, and today, guys, if you can't tell by the huge smile on my face, we have a updated build for the corrupted Warbringer. This build has undergone a pretty significant change since the last time you saw it. I think one of the things we addressed majorly in this build is the damage, and we added more survivability. I don't want to waste any more time with the intro. I'm going to play some footage on the right that you'll be able to see now, and I want you to pay particular attention to the first set of elites that we face off against, just to showcase just how much more power we've gotten on this build. With that said, we're going to jump into the stats while we're doing that, but yeah, we got a pretty sizable increase in damage, and it feels really good. Now, looking at our stats, we are now a level 88 Warbringer, still a little bit of room for improvement. We have 656 strength. Capped resistances on Elemental. We're still working on Chaos. Chaos is the bane of our existence right now, which we're gonna fix in the next final update for this class. We have 51% armor, and then we have 58% block with our Svalend, which is gonna roll twice, which comes out to like 85% block chance, which is a pretty significant amount of block. So we're pretty healthy. We didn't ascend our last Ascendacy. Keep in mind when you're looking at any footage or anything in this build, we simply haven't ascended yet. It is a significant defense increase. I would say it's like the top 3 most impressive increases in the defense, because it makes you be able to block everything. We don't have it yet. We'll get that probably later today or tomorrow, but that is one of the major things. And then finally, we have 3,755 life. So we have a pretty hefty set of life with a ton of armor, ton of block, cap resistances, and you know, just very hard to kill. So want to give you an update on everything that we've added, and that's going to be the skills first. So we have not gotten a 6th link on our seismic cry just yet, because, well, they cost quite a bit. But right now we're still running seismic cry, brutality, corrupted cry, inspiration, as well as swift affliction to give us some significant damage increases. And as you've probably seen on the right side, the damage is pretty significant from the dot. And then of course, you probably saw the hammer drop a few times already. The hammer has undergone a pretty significant increase. I'm gonna skip ahead to the hammer because I think that's really important. We have a hammer with 37,800 base. When we fully buff up, this hammer can easily hit over 62,000. And keep in mind, we don't have our rage. When our rage is full, we have 62,000 damage on this individual hammer. And the reason why anything other than, like, you probably saw one monster like just completely tank it, but he had proximal intangibility or whatever that's called, the one that makes him immune to taking damage. And then obviously the bosses. Whenever I hit the bosses with my hammer, this in a lot of cases in tier 14 15s will take about a quarter of their HP if I can land it correctly. Sometimes a little hard because I'm bad, but as you can probably tell, we have a pretty significant, pretty much a delete button right now. So any rares that like walk up to you instantly get deleted. And keep in mind, this only has 3 links on top of it. So if we have 2 more, this damage is going to become pretty damn insane, which we're actually going to be working on. Let's go over what we have on this. We have Fist of War support, we have Heft, and then we have Martial Tempo for cast speed. We're gonna put 2 more things on this for more damage, but yeah, pretty significant damage increase, and it's really strong. Very happy. It's actually even level 17. We could probably even get like melee gems on our gloves and get more damage on this. But anyway, so you have Leap Slam, Holy Descent, Life Thief just helps us to sustain. We have Shield Charge, once again Stomping Grounds, Ancestral Warrior, Earth Shatter, Upheaval, and then Ancestral Urgency just for the placement speed. We have Overwhelming Presence, once again for our buff, Cannibalism with Vitality for more healing. We have Hammer of the Gods, we already went over that. And then we have Time of Need with Infernal Cry that has Raging Cry for the that's how we get our rage war cry. I mean our rage from our war cries. And then we have Dazing Cry, which helps us daze, so they're more vulnerable to stun. So that is pretty much the gems. That's the major changes. Lot of extra damage. Moving on to our equipment, we have seen some significant changes. Some of these changes actually happened day after the first video posted, so some of these prices have gone up on some of the items, but just keep in mind, you know, we have made some changes, so this is a little bit more pricier. I want to give a rough price point on this, what we have currently, and I believe this is less than 4 divine for this entire setup. I paid less than 4 divine, as I said a second ago. It was a different price for some of this stuff, but we pay about 4 divine and you can have basically what I have, which isn't that crazy, all things considered. Anyway, the newest addition are 2 things. First, we got the Savalin Crucible Tower Shield. This is the thing that is really helping us block. This is giving us increased armor. This is going to give us a maximum block chance of -17. You can get a much better one if you want. I think the max negative is the max negative is -8, which will make, you know, your block so much better. There's still a 75% cap, but the great thing about this shield is the block chance is lucky, and this means it'll just roll the modifier twice. And I think when I did the math, it came up to like 83-84%, so we have a pretty significant block chance on this. We corrupted this, we didn't get anything, but we did put a core of whatever that word is. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it, and it gave us all elemental resistances. So this is the biggest change. This is the most expensive piece of the build, kinda, and I think the last time I looked at this today, it was like 2 divine for this, so it is pretty pricey. I got it for, I believe it was like 60 exalted at the time I got it, so I got it for quite a bit cheaper a couple of days ago, but you know, went up. The other major addition to this build is our hammer. I actually got this hammer for 10 exalted, believe it or not, and then I corrupted it, and I hit it with a essence, because it had the increase, it had the added fizz. I hit it with a the torment one, I think, the one that gives physical, and then I got the physical roll on it. I exalt slammed it, and then I hit it with a corruption, and then I put these runes in, and that's how I got this bad boy. 668 damage, and I had to put this in my hand, so we had to get a ton of strength. In order to wield this, it's going to take 3 times the strength, which is 636 strength to hold this in your hand. I thought it was worth it because you can get your totems out without having to drop your guard. Then obviously Hammer of the Gods dropping 62,000 damage on their head is actually pretty appealing, so that's the reason why we did this. You are giving up Enfeeble. In the last video we had Enfeeble with a scepter. You're giving up Enfeeble, but because you are tanky, and if you get your final Ascendacy, you're going to be much stronger. Like, you don't need that much, you're going to be pretty damn tanky. Plus the nerf kind of happened and it made things a little bit easier to deal with. So we decided to go with a little bit more damage focus, and I think it's paying off. The other thing we got with the Black Sun Crest wrapped Great Helm, I literally just found it in a map. They're going for 1 exalted. If you want like a really good roll one, it's probably going to cost you a lot more. I don't know, I didn't look it up because I had this one. Yeah, we just put a fire resistant thing in here. It just gives us % increased strength. It was lucky that I rolled with higher strength. I didn't have to pay for anything. It reduces your light radius, but I don't think light radius matter. But yeah, we got that. For our chest, we got a expert steel plate that has we corrupted this again. We got life roll on it, but we had the regeneration that's going to help us sustain like Orkai spam and stuff like that. We got maximum life on it, strength, chaos resistance, and then armor. That's really all we really need. We just need to be able to cover our strength, and that's what we got from this, which was really, really nice. We put 2 of these soul cores of Jaquani, I don't know. Don't make me read letters I don't understand. And that gave me 4% increased maximum HP, which is really, really nice. For our necklace, we got a all attribute necklace because I kind of want to cover like dex and intelligence, just in case I needed like a little bit of something for my gems. And this one once again has lightning resistance, strength, life, kind of the same thing. We rolled spell damage on it. It was kind of bad, but whatever. For our rings, kind of the same thing. Resistance, strength, life. Resistance, strength, life. The same thing. Resistance, always heavy. For our gloves, resistance, strength, life. Would love melee gems here. Melee, increase to melee gems. We'll get that in the future. I think you can get up to 3, maybe 2. I don't know. But we're going to get that in the future to make our hammer hit a lot harder. For our belt, we got life, strength, resistance, same old, and boots. We lost 10% move speed, which is unfortunate, but we did gain a lot of strength, resistances, and life once again. So kind of annoying that we lost the move speed, but we kind of had to do it. That's what we have for our gear. Again, it's probably going to cost you 4 divine in the current market, but I think it's well worth it if you're looking at the damage. Now, moving on to the passive tree, we've made some huge adjustments. As I said, we have not ascended yet. This is going to be my priority tomorrow, or today, later today, because I'm recording this in the morning. We're going to get more block. We're going to get less block chance, but this is going to make it so that your shield is going to be able to block all attacks. This means ground attacks. I don't know if this means spells. Let me know down in the comments if that means spells as well. But this means that you can block all attacks, and those ground attacks that hurt us, which is the only thing that really hurt us in chaos, you can block it. So it's going to be really, really good for our health, and it's going to be one of the best defensive node. Other than that, we just take all this stuff here. That's all you need. Take all this stuff, you're good to go. For the tree, we made some adjustments I don't love, but we made them. All right, so we'll talk about them. So grab all the armor here, grab relentless for the strength, grab this for the body armor increase. Came up here, grabbed all of this down here, and we made sure to get lay siege. This is giving us increased damage per block chance. Since we have 58, we have 58 increased damage. Pretty good for one node. I think that was in the last video. We originally had polished iron, but we needed the points. So we came down here, we grabbed the beef, grabbed the strength here, and then we grabbed the blade catcher. This gave us strength, and it gave us a defense against crits. Would love to have polished iron, but we'll see what we can do when we get some points. Boistering yell for AoE, as well as increased damage for the empowered attacks. Not really important, but the Warcry skill is actually pretty nice, right? We actually may drop this point later, but we'll see how that goes. Over here we grabbed heat proofing, because 25% of armor applies to fire damage taken from hits. This is just going to help us be more survivable. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but we take the max fire resistance over here because we wanted to specifically have fire absorb our damage that we take. And this is gonna really be synergistic to it. Came over here, we grabbed this life here. I'm gonna go to the bottom half here because this is important. Grab this one for war cries once again. We put a pretty mediocre jewel here. It's not that great. Rage when we get hit. Defense from equipped. This shield's okay. Life regeneration's okay. Not that important. We do have a gem that's super good. I think it's down there. Anyway, we grab brute strength. This is giving us a ton of damage per strength, 1% damage per 15 strength. Lose mana, but we're blood magic, so it doesn't matter. Giant's blood, of course. Came up here. We could actually drop this point if we wanted to. We'll use that point somewhere else. Got ancestral, this one for the 1 additional totem, and then we're keeping urgent call so we can have some life and mana sustain, mainly the life sustain. We made this jewel. We got so lucky. This one has stun build up, which is good, melee damage, which is good for our hammer of the gods, spell effect duration, which is good for our war cries, and then we got increased war cry damage, which is good for our war cries. So we actually got a really good jewel. I don't even know if this goes for anything, but I just kind of slammed it and we got it, so I'm really happy about that. Strength all the way down, and then we came up here. We have another jewel socket, and then we grab this so we can get more attributes. Maybe sometime down the line we'll anoint this. Probably not. We'll see how it goes, because we will anoint something eventually. We'll think about it. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave it. Going up to this side of the tree, we got the battle fervor, the blood magic, and then of course we got the prism guard. You don't need the fire res, but I actually like the max fire res, and we got that slot there. This one's giving us war cries damage, increased damage if we war cry recently. One thing I didn't say, I actually added quality to seismic because this increases the war cry speed, and if you can't tell, we can war cry really fast. I muted it because I'm tired of hearing my character scream. Sorry, but I muted it. But it's a cool build, but I hate hearing myself scream constantly. Anyway, came up here, we grabbed all this. I hate getting energy shield, but we had to take it. Wide barrier. This is going to increase our block chance but reduce our global defense. We have to take it because once we get this is going to decrease it by 35%. As you know, warriors always have a downside with their ascendancy, so we have to make up for it after we ascend. And then we have offensive stance, which is going to give us 1% more damage for a block, every block chance. Once again, we have 58 blocks, so that's going to be 58% more damage. So that's like 116 damage from just being able to block with these two nodes over here, which is pretty damn impressive in my opinion. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We're gonna probably get some timeless jewels and put it in here somewhere. We're gonna fill out these jewel sockets because we have a ton of them, clean up the rest of the skill tree, and then finish this tomorrow. And then min-max our gear, and then we're gonna be pretty much a god. I think I can kill just short of everything. Maybe not the tier 4 version of the breach guy, but I feel confident in killing most iterations of him with this, so it's really nice. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this one, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the build. Honestly, I think it's one of the best builds. If you guys know me, if you're a regular watcher of the channel, you know I'm a big fan of those tankier builds that, unfortunately, this one can actually do damage, but tankier builds that can actually do stuff, I think that's really great. And with the changes on this build, my damage is pretty absurd, and I'm really happy to play it. So super implore you to play it. For 4 divine to be this strong is pretty damn amazing in my opinion. It doesn't take much to get 4 divine, but yeah, definitely recommend it. Don't forget to leave me a like as well as subscribe. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow if you guys want to hang out, or today technically. So love to have you there, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.